Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Our today's chapter is organization of data. And you know, when an investigator collects data for an investigation, these are just raw data, and raw data are not capable of offering any meaningful conclusion. Data ought to be organized before these are presented for final observations or conclusion. So, organization of data refers to the arrangement of figures in such a form that comparison of the mass of similar data may be facilitated and further analysis may be possible. An important method of organization of data is to distribute these into different classes on the basis of their characteristics. And this process is called classification of data. You see, it involves the conversion of raw data into statistical series in a manner such that some meaningful conclusions can be drawn out of them. And in it deals this chapter deals with the classification of data, focusing on the conversion of raw data into various types of statistical series. Now, what's classification? You see, suppose there are 200 families in your locality. You have collected data regarding their income, expenditure, education, religion, etc. But this data will be of little use unless you know how many families are educated and how many are uneducated, how many families earn an income exceeding 10,000 per month, and how many earn 1,000 or less per month. So, in order to make the raw data meaningful, these must be classified on the basis of their different characteristics, such as educated families and uneducated families, rich families and poor families, etc. You know, each such division of data is called class, and the process by which data is divided into different classes on the basis of their similarity or diversity is called classification. Thus, classification is the grouping of related facts into different classes. In other words, you see, according to Connor, classification is the process of arranging things in groups or classes according to their resemblances and affinities, and gives expression to the unity of attributes that may exist amongst a diversity of individuals. So, based on that definition, it suggests two meaningful or two important features of classification. Number one, data is divided into different groups. For example, on the basis of education, person may be classified as educated and uneducated. And the second thing is data are grouped on the basis of their class similarities. All similar units are put in one class, and as the similarity changes, class also changes. Now, objectives of classification. What are the main objectives of classification? Number one is simplification and briefness. See, main objective of classification is to present data in a form that appears to be brief and simple. And the second one is utility. You see, classification enhances utility of the data as it brings out similarity within the diverse set of data. And third objective is distinctiveness. You see, classification renders obvious differences among the data more distinctly. And comparability, it makes data comparable and estimative. And another objective is scientific arrangement. You see, Classification facilitates arrangement of data in a scientific manner which increases their reliability. And classification makes data more attractive and effective. Now, what are the characteristics of a good classification? Number one is comprehensiveness, right? Comprehensiveness is one of the characteristics of good classification. You see, classification of raw data should be so comprehensive that each and every item of the data gets into some group or class. No item should be left out. And second characteristic is clarity. So classification of raw data into classes should be absolutely clear and simple. That is, there should be no confusion about the placement of any item in a group. And the third one is homogeneity. All items in a group or class must be homogeneous or similar to each other. And fourth one is stability, suitability. See, the comparison of the classes must suit the objective of inquiry. For example, in order to determine the income and expenditure of the students in a school, their classification on the basis of weight or marital status would make no sense. The data must be classified on the basis of different levels of income and expenditure. And the sixth characteristic is stability. A particular kind of investigation should be based on the same set of classification. This base should not change with each investigation. And number sixth characteristic is elastic. So classification should be elastic. There should be scope for change in the classification matching with the change in the purpose or objectives of our study. So these are the characteristics of a good classification. Thank you very much.